Okay, so we're doing section 1.2b, and that's just putting all of these things that we have learned together. So I believe that your notes start with this problem, which is my number 7, and I think it's like your number 2 or something. Before we do that, you need to fill in the to-do list. Okay, so I'm going to go over here where I have some space. And I want you to fill in the to-do list with me. And I know we've done it before, but if we do it multiple times, maybe you'll just remember it. So again, the first thing you do is distribute when there's parentheses. So distribute. You collect like terms, and that's on one side only. No crossing the equal sign. Then we're going to move the variables to one side. Then you undo addition and subtraction. And then undo multiplication and division. Okay, so now let's actually do some of these problems. Again, I think this is your number 2. It's definitely not your number 7. But they go in the same order. Okay, so there's no parentheses here, no collecting like terms. So we're going to either subtract 9x or add 2x. You know I like to keep it positive. So I have 11x minus 4 equals 7. Then I'm going to undo this subtraction with addition, adding 4 to each side. So I have 11x equals 11. And then you're going to divide each side by 11. So you have x equals 1. Okay, the next one, we have to distribute because we have those parentheses to deal with. So I'm going to take 2 times a, which is 2a. 2 times positive 2, which is 4. Nothing to collect on either side, but we have to move the variables to one side now. So I'm going to subtract this a from both sides. You can subtract 2a too, but I think that'll be more work. So I have a plus 4 equals 11. I'm going to undo that addition by subtracting, and I have a is equal to 7. Okay, moving on. So I have 5x minus 4x plus 18 equals 3x plus 2. We have no parentheses, but here we have to combine these. So 5x and 4x together is just plain old x. Now I'm going to subtract this x from both sides. I can also subtract 3x, and it would put me in the same place. I have 18 equals 2x plus 2. I'm going to undo adding 2 by subtracting 2 from each side. So I have 16 equals 2x. And when I divide by 2, x is equal to 8. All right, moving right along here. So here we have parentheses, so we need to do step 1. So we have these t's look like pluses. So I have 2t plus 21 equals 3 times t, which is 3t. 3 times 5, which is 15. I think I'm going to subtract 2t from both sides. So I have 21 equals t plus 15. Now I'm going to undo that addition by subtracting 15 from both sides. So I have 21 minus 15, which is 6. Okay, my number 11. A couple things to do here. So I look over here and I have to combine my x's. So 7x minus 4x is 3x. And over here, I have to combine my 7 and 4, which is 11. So 2x plus 11. I'm going to subtract that 2x from both sides. So I have x, or 2 plus x over here, equals 11. And when I subtract that, even though there's no sign, it's positive, so I got to do the opposite. I have x equals 9. Okay, moving right along. Let me rewrite this. We have parentheses, so we know the very first thing that we have to do is distribute, and we have to do it twice. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times negative x is negative 4x. We're going to bring down that 3x. Be super careful with your signs. Now I have negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times positive 1 is negative 2. So now here I can pull together my x's. So negative 4x plus 3x leaves me with a negative x. So I'm going to add x to both sides. So I end up with 4 equals negative x minus 2. I'm going to undo that addition by adding 2. So I have negative x equals 6. I am not done at this point. I have to divide each side by negative 1. So x is negative 6. Okay, couple more to go. So now we're looking at some fractions here. So first my mind says, oh, maybe I should clear. But then I'm going to look at what's inside. And they're both multiples of the denominator, so I think it would be more work to clear. So let me copy. Okay, so we're going to distribute first. So you're going to take 1/4 of 12x, or divide 12 by 4, which is 3x. You're going to take 1/4 of 16, which is dividing 16 into 4 pieces, which gives you 4. Now here we need to distribute that negative 3. Remember the sign has to be distributed too, so that 10 stays. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. So let's combine those constants there. 10 and 6 together is 16 minus 3x. So now we got to bring the x's to one side. I like to keep it positive. So I'm deciding to add 3x to each side. You can also subtract it. So I have 6x plus 4 equals 16. I'm going to undo this addition by subtracting 4 from each side. So I have 6x equals 12. And I'm going to divide by 6. So x is 2. All right. So let's take a look at this one. You can clear. So let's try to clear. Multiply everything by 3, that denominator. If I do that, 2x minus 9 is left. You don't have to do anything with the 9 because it's all on top of that 3. However, over here, I have to multiply everything by the 3. So now I have 3 times 8, which is 24. 3 times negative 3x, which is negative 9x. Okay, I'm going to add that 9x to keep it positive. You could subtract the 2x too. So I have 11x minus 9 equals 24. Now I'm going to add 9 because it's the opposite of subtracting 9. To undo that, I have 11x equals 33. I'm going to undo that multiplication by dividing by 11. And 33 divided by 11 is 3. Okay, 2 more to go. 2 more. Okay, so this one I'm going to clear. But in order to clear the fraction, you have to have them have the same denominator. I'm going to make them into 6. How did I get from 3 to 6? I multiplied by 2, and you need to do the same thing to the numerator. How did I get from 2 to 6? I multiplied by 3. You have to do the same thing to the numerator. Okay, so now I can get rid of the 6. I just got it, and now I'm going to get rid of it by multiplying each side by 6. Remember, it's 6 over 1, so that's canceled, and the 2y is left. Now we have to take the 6 times the 5, which is something that we forgot to do, and you get 30. 6 is canceled. I have the 3y, that's the numerator, left. I have to take the 6 and multiply it by the 3, which is 18. So now I don't have a fraction to deal with. So I'm going to subtract that 2y from each side. So I have 30 equals y plus 18. And all I need to do now is undo adding 18 by subtracting 18 from either side. And I have y equals 12. Okay, one last one. There's a fraction here. Not sure whether I should clear it or not. So I'm going to look inside the parentheses and see if what's inside is a multiple of 2. Whoa, there, I'm back. So yes, 2 is a multiple of 2, and so is 3. So I'm just going to distribute. So if you take 2 and divide by 2, that's 1, or just n. If you take 6 and divide by 2, you get 3. Copy down the other side. Okay, let's combine 5n and negative 5n. I have n plus 3 over here. I have 4n minus 12. I'm going to subtract this n. So 3 equals 3n minus 12. I'm going to undo that subtraction by adding 12 to each side. So now I have 3n equals 15. The last step to the last problem is here, is I'm going to divide by 3 to undo multiplication. So n is equal to 5. So that takes everything that we learned and puts it all together.